the Xperts. John Reyes, president of one of the most successful technology training organizations in real estate. John is a sales guru who knows what it takes to close a deal. Jacob Swadek, renowned speaker, trainer, and author. He's not only an educator, but also a successful real estate practitioner. Matt Allman, nationally acclaimed social strategist. His training curriculum has been adopted by thousands of agents across the country.
Hi, welcome to the Xperts. We're back, the most relevant real estate show. In this first segment, we usually talk about kind of what's new, what's going on in our lives, in our world. And I'll tell you what we've been busy doing here locally in Southern California is working with this select group of agents that we're calling #RelevantAgent. You can check out more on relevantagent.com. And we've just been meeting with agents. I just met with an agent, a huge producer, and we've met one-on-one about his Yelp account and how to get him from, lost within the, this Yelp, forest, and how to be first page, top ranking. I've been seeing you guys doing videos. Why don't you tell us a little about what you're doing, and what these meetings are like?
Yeah, I'm meeting with real estate professionals every single day that are coming through. They're interested either in the program or they're now on board. And it's really exciting to already see the feedback, fast forward about 30 days now. And a good portion of these agents that are actually following through with this program, they're seeing some huge success. The other ones, they got to get a little kickstart. That's part of the accountability program with it. But in the end, ultimately what we're doing is we're setting them up for online business development success from start to finish, having the nucleus with a mobile responsive website, doing their high quality video, and then getting them positioned with their social accounts. So it's a lot of work going on. It's very complex, but we're taking out the guesswork, and that's what they're loving. They're like, holy smokes, look what you guys just did on my YouTube channel. It actually looks like a website. And I think there's so many other things that we're doing.
We've done more for most agents in 30 days than they've done realistically in the last 3 years. And it's just by executing certain strategic things with their site, titling, tagging, video, photos, and go online and Google a lot of these people, and the first thing that you'll see come up is the content that we're controlling. So I think that that's just a really great example of not just talking about it, but really doing it. And that's what we know is what we're really pushing everybody
to do. That's the linchpin, right? For so many years you guys talked about how to versus now doing it for them. And then tying that into the more brick and mortar side of real estate, we just had our first mastermind a few weeks ago, and that was awesome. The energy was through the roof there in Ontario. And then every Monday morning we've been doing these group coaching mindset calls, 7:30 a.m. Just the committed ones jump on, and we get them set, focused, setting goals, accountability for the week. And it's just neat. I just think it's humming, the energy. Yeah, it's amazing. And just to get the viewers to understand, online business development, what that is, it's really coming back to optimizing their name. And when the consumers, what they're doing, they're doing their 3 weeks worth of research, they're typing in the name of a real estate professional, and then there's either things that do come up, don't come up, and that's a scary part. But with going through this program, it's intentional and they're showing up. And that's what they're loving, is like, wow, in a day or two, controlling the content. Yeah, it's our business. We might as well control it. And because consumers have shifted, they're looking it up like 9 out of 10 times. So you might as well be putting your best foot forward. Exactly. Well, great stuff. In our next segment, we're going to talk about technology and how it pertains to you, the real estate agent.
Hi, everybody. It's Natasha here from Claremont Escrow. I hope you're enjoying the Expert Show. Remember us for all of your escrow needs. You can find us at ClaremontEscrow.com or give us a call, 909-399-1171.
Welcome back. In this next segment, we're going to talk about technology, kind of what's happening, what's hot, but specifically how it relates to you, real estate agents. And it's kind of a meat per minute, bang for your buck type segment, stuff that's going to really help you in your business. So you've got the papers in your hand. I'm assuming you got something to talk about.
So many stories, but a couple of them that actually stood out was Realogy has announced to purchase Zip Realty for more than $160 million.
It's a lot of money.
And you have Realtor.com that is out there, I don't want to say poaching, but hiring some key executives from Realtor.com.
But you did say poaching, so.
But you know what, I think out of all the stories, which intrigues me the most is the fact that real estate agents are stepping up their game with video marketing. Recent article published in the Los Angeles Times. And we're talking about taking it to a whole new level where they're actually creating like little mini films to sell homes. And not saying that that's actually selling properties, but I do love the effort of just really just stepping up their game. And this is exactly what we've been talking about for, I don't even know, years now.
Yeah, I mean, these are like little mini movies. I saw the article, and in the CBS or whatever special they showed, there's little clips, and they go out and hire producers, directors. I mean, they create this movie around the house, like what kind of life you could live in this house.
I love the whole idea and concept, and I think what it comes down to is that we really need to look and to say, well, maybe just the whole green screen with a couple photos in the back aren't going to solve my problems, or maybe even just adding a little drone with a camera that's kind of a little shaky is not the solution. Again, I applaud the efforts for all of those who are out there, but quality matters now, I think, more than ever before. And even just in real life, I was watching Netflix, I don't want to say for the first time, but I've never really used Netflix. And I was watching a show that I absolutely just love. I'm a little addicted to it now, but it's crazy because it's Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Love the whole concept of that.
Good.
But here's what I love. I can stop watching on my desktop, grab my phone hours later, and it knows exactly where I left off.
Picks it up, yep.
It's not just technology for the sake of like trying to impress people.
Yeah.
It's practicality. It's really thinking about those details.
But that's why video's so important, right? Because a consumer's at home, and they're watching on their laptop, and they want to learn as much as they can about that house before they go see it, or do they even want to go see it?
Exactly, and you know what stood out to me the most about this article is realtors are finally listening. They're listening, right? So now they're embracing it, and now they're standing out.
I'm a little offended by that, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, he's one of them. But the reality is, I mean, you got to stand out, and with video you can do it, but you said it the best. You hit the nail on the head. Lifestyle, educating the consumer, and walk me through that home. I want to visually see what I'm going home to at the end of a long day, those kind of things.
It's what Netflix does, says you have multiple devices, how do I make it easy? That's what we need to do for the home buying process.
Now let me just take a bit of an opposing view there, because here's what I'm thinking. I could take the time to create a really amazing video to promote and market a home, and it may not truly sell that property, but I guarantee you as a real estate agent, show up to a listing presentation and show your seller that you're going to do this. That's a way to not only stand out, but in my opinion, that's a way to just annihilate the competition, because I can say, here's what I'm going to do to earn my 3%. What are my competitors going to do?
I love that so much. Matter of fact, it's a great segue into our next segment where we're going to talk about the value of agents as it pertains to consumers' perspective, right? It's not that the video sells the home. When the market's good, the market sells the home sells the home. But it's about you selling yourself to your prospect, right, to the consumer. Well, we'll be right back with our next segment where we're going to talk about marketing, and we got a really hot topic for you.
Hey guys, this is John Allen with Premier Credit Alliance. I hope you're enjoying the Expert Show. If you have any questions whatsoever about credit repair or what's going on with this credit report, and you maybe want a professional or look at it and go over something with you, please feel free to give me a call at 714-858-0693. Feel free also, you can email me at john@premiercreditalliance.com.
We're back. Hey, in this final segment, we're going to talk about marketing. But today it's going to be a little different. The marketing segment's going to be a little bit about how we are perceived by consumers. But I won't steal Matt's thunder. He's going to talk about a recent study that was done that I'm not a huge fan of, but let's hear it anyway.
You're definitely not a fan of this. And so we were just recently reading this, and it talks about in this case study, 47% of homeowners say they could sell a home without the help of a real estate agent. I know you like that one. That hits home. And then 59% say they're likely okay to purchase a home on their own. To me, I think it's crazy for a couple of key, reasons. One, you would think there'd be more for sale by owners if this was the case.
True, good point.
Right? And number two, I mean, I talk to my buddies, and it's the 30-somethings or whatever the case may be, even some baby boomers that are looking to purchase, and yeah, they find the home, yes, they can go look at the home, but then what do they do from there? I know they don't have a platform really to move forward necessarily,
right?
But I mean, that poses the question of, are real estate agents really getting out of their way to stand out and make sure they're catering to this consumer's mentality?
I think what you said is true. You said that they could, and then my question is, but would they? And the truth is they're not, because there's not that many for sale by owners. But I don't think we can get away from the question or the issue that they said that they could without
I think
the perceived reality.
With the advancements in mobile technology and access to information, you're going to have a more educated consumer. Who would have ever thought that I could get a cab ride at 30% of the cost? Yeah. I mean, just the other day, we were out and I took my phone and I had a cab or an actual car show up within 3 minutes from where I was at. And down
with Uber.
Exactly, using an application. So I'm thinking if you can look at the entire cab industry, that's a strong organization. And if they could be affected by an application that now has a market cap of over $14 billion, real estate agents really need to look at what they do and what they offer, and they need to have their backs against the walls, in my opinion, because I don't think it's too far off. I don't think it's crazy for people to really think, well, can I do this? Especially if you see some of the photos that are put on now on the MLS. I mean, honestly, this is where I just think that you have a minority group of real estate agents that do a really bad job on marketing and promoting real estate.
So hold on. So what we're talking about here is saying that study's true. I don't know how many polls, people in the poll that was conducted, but assuming that there's a sentiment like that the answer to that is what? Creating more value, being higher quality agents? I
think it's really challenging the real estate community to say, look, if you're going to be out there representing the sale of my dad's home, or if you're going to be helping my sister, first-time home buyer, buy a property, really looking at it as not a right, but rather a privilege. And if you think about it from a privileged perspective, then you're going to really focus on offering the best, the greatest service. And you know real estate agents who offer some amazing service that their clients would be more than happy to pay them every dollar because they earn it, rather than just expecting a commission for taking photos and uploading them on the multiple listing service.
No, I know that there's been some lazy side to it, and I think it comes back to just being traditional and following the everyday process, like we've talked about in our other segment. But in reality, you have to say, okay, that's great. They can find the home, they can go to the home and all this stuff. But what happens when it comes down to really knowing the local area? What happens about negotiations and protection? And I guess that's where Jacob comes in and says, hey, I got this one. And he could probably provide us with more information. But the reality is, I don't know if today's consumer is savvy enough as a whole to be able to fill that void they feel.
I think it comes down to 3 P's: price, the promotion of the property, and then protection, the legal protection that's offered by a realtor. I mean, if you really think about it from what a real estate agent does, I think that those are the 3 elements.
And pupusas, which are really good.
I love
pastry.
those.
And I'm not saying that it's here today. All I'm saying is that as a real estate community, we all compete with each other, but at some point we need to work with each other to really challenge each other to say, let's step up our game. And for those who do step up their game, let's push aside all of those who are not doing what they need to do in order to really earn that commission.
I have a feeling this conversation is going to keep going in future shows because this is a great debate, right? Our value.
We've actually had this debate a handful of times, drinks in hand.
Well. It's kind of like playing Monopoly with your siblings. Just watch out, right? But I just want to tell you guys that this is kind of a wrap for today's show. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to bring us out to an event that you're doing, we'd love to come out and be speakers. To book us, you can go to relevantagent.com and then go to the About Us tab, and all of our contact information is there.
And also when you visit relevantagent.com, there's a survey link. Click on that survey, fill out the information. We're always constantly looking for the right agent or the right group of agents that we can work directly with and really become a marketing partner to you or for you, so that way we could help take your business to an entirely different level.
And last but not least, if you have questions or other topics that you want us to talk about, make sure that you follow our social accounts on relevantagent.com. And when you pose those questions or topics, #relevantagent, because we want to stay relevant as well. We want to make sure that we cater to the topics that you're looking for.